Ще почекаємо десь до 6:05 і потім почнемо. So I think we might going to start. There's a bit of people going to. So yeah, just let me add them. Okay. So first of all, welcome everyone to our course, Sustainable Development, Digitalization in Green Tourism, European Practices and Sustainability. Since this course actually founded and co-founded by European Union, it is necessary to turn on your cameras to just see each other, since we're going to communicate a little bit and introduce each other. So if you have an ability to turn on your camera, please do. Also, I hope, since this is a course in English, everyone speaks English. Yeah. Hello. Anyone, please just give me a feedback. Turn on your microphone and just let me know.
Thank you for the invitation, but we are not ready for turn on camera. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But just for letting you know in the future, if there is a possibility to turn on the camera, please do. Also for the next lectures. Also. So this course, we're going to talk about digitalization. We're going to talk about sustainability, European practices. Or also, we are going to talk about alternative artificial intelligence and how these actually leads us to Web 5 and new generation, and how we can use it also in terms of the tourism and green tourism. So before we go to the course, I want you, all of you, just a little bit step in and actually introduce yourself. You can tell your name, maybe a field if you're working in tourism, or studying tourism, or how this course is related to you. Will be very interesting just to know who we are going to work with. Okay, who's going to start? Please don't hesitate, don't shy. We are here just
Let's
to
just introduce ourselves, yes?
Perfect. Yes. And where you from
Okay.
also, because these courses are quite spread it all over the world. There's the Ukrainians, Spanish maybe. So please do.
Okay, maybe I will start and then other guys will continue. It's nice to meet you, to see you guys here. My name is Aysun from Ukraine. I'm a student. I'm studying management. Nowadays I can speak 6 languages, and also I like developing myself nowadays every day, like learning something. And yeah, I think
Very
that's
good.
all.
Thank you so much. 6 languages. This is quite impressive.
It's
Who's
sometimes difficult.
else? Yeah, well, who else?
Hi,
Please.
my name is Tas. I'm from Kiev. I'm
Mhm.
from National Transport University, and I'm try to learn artificial intelligence in supply chain, in logistics, and your topic interesting for me. And I hope I can switch your experience to Erasmus program to my future collaboration with same programs.
I see. Very nice. Blockchain, quite hard. We're going to start with a little easier topics here, just to see how it flows. Because as I know, there's a few representative also represent businesses and also students. And I want that everyone understand how the world actually changing, how we got here in 21st century and where we're going to go. This is very interesting topic. Okay. Who's else? Who's next? Please, Anna Savelieva, if you can speak up about yourself, please introduce. No, Anna is not with us yet. Okay, she's. Oh, we cannot hear you somehow. Well, yeah, we cannot. Anyway, it's okay. Maybe if you fix it, let us know. I'll give you a chance to tell about yourself. Hanna Stupak. Some of people got scared talk, so they just leave. I hope they're gonna come back later on. Hanna, Ekaterina, Mihailo.
Hi, my name is Katerina. I'm from Skadovsk, Kherson region, Ukraine. Now I live in Odessa. Before the war, I have own business in tourism. This topic very interesting for me.
Mm-hmm. And did you provide services, tours, and what kind of traveling business?
Tourism, we have yachting. I try to say it in English. We have a
Yacht club or yachts for rent?
yachts for rent, yes, and we have house and guest house for holiday, and it is very interesting for me. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Mihail?
Hello, yeah. I'm a student from Micallef. Currently, I'm in Britain, Great Britain. Yeah. Yeah, I'm studying in Stroud High College for with math, further math and computer science. So, yeah, that's pretty much all of it. Yeah.
Okay. And Danila Chernenko, if you can introduce yourself. No? Probably not. Okay. Anyway, we will have a chance later on also in the next classes talk. My name Olena. I'm a PhD student in Sum State University of Cafedra of Management imeni Olega Belatskova. So since as I already mentioned before, this is course of digital transformation in green tourism, European practices and sustainability. And first, a lecture will be talking about sustainable development goals, tasks, challenges, green economy, foundation of transition for sustainable development. Also, just to introduce that in a whole course, we're going to, like next lecture, we're going to talk about industrial revolutions and then how industrial revolutions actually moved to web revolutions. And those 5 web revolutions leads us here in this present of time. And then at the last one or maybe 2 classes, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence and also a few maybe more tools that you can use in your business, specifically more in tourism field, but there will be some tools that you can just implement it for your website, for example. And we're going to talk about that just a bit later, as soon as you understand the whole complex of an idea. So let me start with this video that Google actually very high-tech company, as we know. And I'm going to give you also another explanation later on a different lectures, what they've done and how they work with artificial intelligence and how they actually improve tourism and many of the sectors. And this is a little bit of introduction about Google sustainability. So let's just listen.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Whether you're in Brussels or joining virtually, we are grateful for your partnership. Fighting climate change is humanity's next big moonshot. And as with any moonshot, we're going to have to answer some big questions to get there. At Google, we've been asking these questions for 25 years. Can a company at our scale operate on 24/7 carbon-free energy? How can we use technology to help others achieve their climate goals and make more sustainable choices? We continue to make progress across all of these areas. For example, behind me is our Bayview campus in California, where buildings are powered by wind, solar, and geothermal. And in Belgium, we are on track to operate at or near 80% carbon-free energy in 2024. The biggest question is still ahead. Can we leave a healthy planet for future generations? I believe the answer is yes. That's in part because of the progress being made globally to transition to a sustainable future. We've worked hard to lead by example. We began purchasing clean energy in 2010. By 2017, all our energy purchases were matched with 100% renewable energy. And today, 2/3 of the energy used for our offices and data centers is 24/7 carbon-free. Our goal is to reach 100% by the end of the decade. We are excited about the ways we can keep driving the energy transformation through steps like our next-generation geothermal project in Nevada, which will be online soon. We are also harnessing AI for new breakthrough solutions. For example, we recently shared research that will help airline partners use AI to decrease contrails, a major contributor to global warming. AI powers FloodHub, our system which can predict floods up to a week in advance. It now covers more than 460 million people in 80 countries. And I'm excited to share that starting today, we are expanding Flood Hub to the United States and Canada. With the help of AI, 1 billion people have made more sustainable choices through our products. For example, fuel-efficient routing in Google Maps has helped prevent more than 2.4 million metric tons of carbon emissions. That's the equivalent of taking about 500,000 fuel-based cars off the road for an entire year. And in partnership with local governments, we are advancing Project Greenlight. It uses AI to reduce stop-and-go traffic at intersections and reduce emissions. We are now expanding this project to more than a dozen cities around the world, from Rio to Budapest. Through our products, we want to help people, cities, and other partners collectively reduce 1 gigatons of carbon equivalent emissions annually by 2030. That's equal to the emissions of a major country like Japan. We'll continue sharing tools that help, from making the latest AI models available through Google Cloud to helping city governments understand and reduce their emissions with our Environmental Insights Explorer tool. And we'll keep asking the big questions to help build a more sustainable future and work to find answers with all of you. Thanks again for being here. I'll turn it over to the team to get started.
All right. And the first question, what we're going to talk, this is sustainable development. I know that probably every one of you heard what's sustainable development goals, but what is it? So the Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, are the key directions for the development of the countries that were adopted at the United Nations Summit of Sustainable Development. They replaced the Millennium Development Goals, the term which ended in 2015. So the SDGs, which were adopted from period of 2015 and 2030s, consists 17 global goals. You can see them right now in front of you, corresponding to 169 targets. So a few targets for each one. The official document resolution of the United Nations General Assembly titled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, dates September 25th in 2015, announced a new action plan aimed at leading the world toward sustainable and resilient development. So, give me 1 second. Okay. So the 2015 United Nations Climate Conference took place in Paris in 2015. This was 21st conference, a decline to climate change, held within the framework of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, the abbreviation UNFCCC. And the International Summit was held at the Le Bourget exhibition complex in Paris. The goals of this conference was to sign an international agreement aimed to limit the increase in average global temperature to below 2 degrees, appreciable to all of the countries. So the conference resulted the adoption of the Paris Agreement, and UN member states began signing the agreement in 2016. So the key provisions were included limited temperature increase well below 2 degrees above the pre-industrial level. Because we all know this problem with the global warming, and this is how we end up with this resolution. So there is a specific justification for this target, as exceed 1.5 degrees poses a significant risk of serious climate impact worldwide. So this achievement presented significant process, considering that 6 years prior in Copenhagen, nearly 200 countries agreed on a temperature limit of 2 degrees. However, 1 degree has already been exceeded since then, and recent data does not indicate a significant reduction in a global emission that contribute to warming. So commitment to reduce emission is before the conference, over 180 countries pledged to reduce or limit carbon emission. However, these commitments are influenced to keep global temperature rise within 2.7 limit. And projectors by experts indicate potential warming of 2.7 or higher. So these commitments are outlined in the agreement but are not legally binding. So long-term global goals. Achieving net zero emission. This means that countries committed to achieving their balance between anthropogenic emission and removal of greenhouse gases in the second half of the century. Efficiently aiming for net zero emission between 2050s and 2100s. So for basically our next generations. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change suggested that achieving net zero emission should be accomplished by 2070s, to avoid dangerous warming. And they come over, you can see right here, key provisions, so what they include, and we are right now at a point, 5 years review cycle. And this cycles, the agreement includes provisions for previewing emissions reduction plans every 5 years to help keep global warming within critical 2 degrees and not over. We're trying to avoid 2.7. So loss and damages. The agreement includes mechanism for addressing financial issues related to countries vulnerable to climate impact. However, it also states that claims by affected country will be not basis for comprehensions. Financing. The financing of developing countries to help them to adopt climate change and transition to clean energy is a part of agreement. This section of the agreement was shifted to a non-binding decision text. So let's go to another one. So the concept of sustainable development was adopted in 1992 at the United Nations Conference of the Environmental and Development in Rio de Janeiro. The conference was attended by head of state governments, officials, experts from 179 countries, and as well as a representative of many non-governmental organizations, scientists, and business communities. At the conference, the definition of sustainable development was adopted, presented in the report of the International Commission charged by Prime Minister of Norway, Mr. Gro Harlem Brundtland, and they also often refer it as a Brundtland Report. So what is the definition? The sustainable development is a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So we're talking about present and how we're going to change our future in a better way without compromising. Yeah, so we're not going to go in a bad decisions. It has to be sustainable decision. What is written about sustainable development today raises more questions than concrete methodological provision and informational basis. Therefore, let's try to direct some of flameless framework of definition that makes up the basis of the controversial and a bigness concept of sustainable development. So let's start with the definition. Let me come back right here. Sorry. So let's start with the definition. Upon initial analysis, the ambiguity of inconsistency of this term become apparent. The inconsistency lies in the fact that the term combines two words that have internally opposite meaning. Sustainability applies to equilibrium. We also can come back here. It will be more practical to understand. It applies to equilibrium, and those sustainable development, and while the development can only occur through the constant departure from equilibrium, there's constant changes from equilibrium. So those sustainable development in its internal sense should mean the permanent production of the so-called homeostasis state with the periodical changes in its level, allowing for the constant resolution of contradiction between the internal components of the system without exceeding catastrophic or fatal transformation in the biosphere parameters. So the ambiguity of the discussed concept lies as the fact that stability can be understood as an ability to maintain equilibrium. And this is very important, to maintain equilibrium. Or as stability, the ability not to change or maintain certain rates of movement. So this is regard two terms are used: sustainability and sustainable development. And we often can hear those two terms also in Ukraine, but they're also sometimes mixed between each other. However, both terms are often translated as sustainable development. The terms sustainability primarily conveys a state of stability, or in other words, an equilibrium state, with the question of what is being supported and by what means left unanswered. Let's come back here. So the term sustainable development is the official Ukrainian equivalent, сталий розвиток, of the English term sustainable development. A literal translation taking into account that contents could be valuable development, and its term of this meaning, self-sustaining development, or sometimes comprehensive balanced development. According to the definition of the United Nations Commission on the Sustainable Development, its goal is to meet needs of today's society without jeopardizing the ability of future generations, as we just mentioned in this statement. The theory of sustainable development serves an alternative to paradigm of economic growth, which ignores the environmental risk of extensive development. But it also leads us to the paradox of sustainable development. Yeah. So the paradigm, sorry, this slide was exactly for two definitions, sustainability and sustainable development. A little bit messed up. All right, so it leads us to the paradigm, right, between these two statements. The paradigm of sustainable development comprises requirements for environmental protection, social justice, and absence of racial, national discrimination. In countries where those requirements are disregarded at the state level, the concept of sustainable development is often manipulated to give it a more convenient interpretation. delighting its true meaning. In Ukraine, for example, the term sustainable development is frequently used to refer only to unanswering economic growth, both for the country and a whole, for its region, cities, towns, and individual economic sector. So sometimes this is combined with a sporadic measurements to preserve an environmental and improve sanitary condition for people living, for working condition. So such as implementation of term that is criticized also by Jay Daly, and it's not just a gross error but profanation of the concept. So I also want to mention that translation may vary. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let's go to the next one. So green economy. Yeah, we come in from sustainability, sustainable development. For difference between them, we come into the green economy. What is that? The formation of green economy based on a fundamental new type of technology and economic relationship follows a certain pattern. On the one hand, this is divided by necessity to transition towards sustainable development, which allows overcoming the threat of a global ecological catastrophe and ensuring the transition to priority of human social development. On the other hand, the scientist and technological level achieved by society at the present stage creates condition for addressing those tasks. So the task of shaping green economy, which is sustainable economy, at this stage of civilization development becomes feasible due to the fact that the third industrial revolution provides opportunity for transitional to significantly more efficient technological solution for production and consumption. So green, and or you can say sustainable economy, is an economical system that aims to achieve the goals of sustainable development. The theory of green economy is based on 3 axioms, and they are here. It is impossible to identify, to infinitely expand the sphere of influence in a limited space. It is impossible to demand the satisfaction of infinitely growing materials needs in condition or limited sources, and also everything on Earth is interconnected. So considering the existing natural and ecological realities which unlimitedly impose limitation of the development of productive forces and the corresponding parameters of materials and energy, metabolism of human civilization on Earth, the basic controls of the state or green economy are formed, which the third industrial revolution is intended to build. So, main characteristics of green economy: it's utilizing of renewable sources, closed resources utilizing cycle, material competence harmoniously integrated into ecosystem, stable level of industrial metabolism, dematerialization of metabolism, effective efficient energy storage, a regime of continuous self-optimization or technical system to optimal parameters or homeostasis, a regime of continuously self-improvement, avoidance of ecological threshold, preservation of biodiversity and ecosystems, and also priority of the reproduction of the personal basis of the human. So comparative analysis of this characteristic of traditional green economy helps us to better understand and sustainable specificity of the latter. Is this the rate of use of new renewable natural sources should be exceeded the rate of substitutional non-renewable sources, right? Resources with renewable ones. Then, for example, the rate of use renewable natural resources should not exceed their rates of reproduction by natural sources. And the limit of disruption, pollution, or natural system should not exceed the capacity of the assimilative or regenerative potential. So as we can see, the key features of the green economy are intended to take it to a new, significant, higher level of ecological and economical society. This will allow us to fulfill its function with a minimal impact of natural systems. So components of the green economy. Components, but analyzing the aforementioned, sorry, a little bit nervous also. So, resource. Okay, so components. What are those components that should progress towards stability? This is sources, renewable. Yeah, the renewable sources should become the fundamental basis of the green economy. Dematerialization, the significant reduction of the material intensity, energy intensivity, and environmental impact. Transformability, which is continuous progress through progressive transformation. This is what all we're going to do on the next 50 years, probably, transforming our society, a new one. Innovativeness, adapting to rapid implementation of innovation solution. Yeah, we're going to implement all innovative solutions. We right now, every day, there is a new solution in a market that we have to be like up to date to follow it. And so naturalization, alignment of the forms utilizing materials, types of energy and technological process with those existing in nature. Social orientation, which is a transforming from a primacy of economical goals to the primacy of goals for humans, society, human social development, I'm sorry. And in also informational focus, prioritizing information in a production and consumption, ethical and humanization of the economy, which is implementing ethical principles of sustainable justice. And synergization, decentralization, self-organization. Each of these characteristics simultaneously serve as both a goal for realization of the particular direction and as a means for implementing other characteristics, or we can say other directions. For instance, dematerialization of societal production can only be achieved through resources like renewably, constant progressive transformation of economic system. Their innovating renewal, naturalization, and other characteristics include social orientation. At the same time, dematerialization itself, it is necessary means to transitioning to social-oriented development. And I want to also stop, this is since this is the introduction lecture for a little bit of sustainable development. We're going to go scope overview of everything. We're going to stop for each, talk about each global, each global goals. Yeah, correct. And the first goal of the 17 is no poverty. So no poverty. The goal is actually end poverty in all its form everywhere. And here I'm going to give you a bit of examples how Europe, of examples of European practices. And also what I want you to do, while we're going to talk, or you're going to listen to the lectures next a few lectures, I want you always try to think in your field. So if you are in tourism, try to attach, okay, this goal, I can use this goal for my business, this way, yeah, or that business should do it this way, yeah. This is your personal opinion. This is how we think. This society is very the words of society is very important in terms of where we're going to go. So sorry. So no poverty. As an example, European practice, many European countries, such as Finland, have implemented a comprehensive social welfare system that provides financial support to the unemployed, elderly, and those who are unable to work. Well, we can see that in almost in every country. Zero hunger. The goal is end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. European practice here, as an example, France has passed law to prevent supermarkets throw away unsold food, redirecting it instead to charities and food banks. Also, this practice, as I know, they use it a lot in America, and they have these food banks where the people can just come over almost every day to grab some food. Next one is a good health and a well-being. The goal is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all of ages. The Netherlands, for example, promotes cycling by having extensive bike lanes, reducing pollution and encouraging healthy lifestyles. Also, I know some cities in Spain do the same thing. They create these bicycle roads all over the city, and they create the roads for cars. In that way, they do not have a traffic at all. There is no traffic in the city, and the city is become much greener, also following the sustainable goals and sustainable development. Quality education. The goal is ensure inclusive and equitable quality of education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. We all know that, again, it's not too popular in Ukraine to go to study when you are in 50s or 40s or 60s. But for example, in America, it is very popular. The people goes to university to get some degree or something that they want to study, even when they are 80s. And the education is for everyone, and this is cool. You go to retired, and then one day you just go to study literature. I think this is beautiful. This is what every country do. Also, in Germany, the dual education system combines apprenticeship in a company and vocational education at the vocational school in one course, which is also great practice. Gender equity. The goal is to achieve gender equity and empower all women and girls. European practice in Ireland is often cited as a leading country in gender equity, with policies promoting equal pay and representation in leadership roles. I personally know a lot of people, and a few weeks ago, I was in Germany for a conference, and we talk about the gender equity. And in Germany, about 7 years ago, they have this problem. The woman cannot lead high positions. It's called window glass, I think. And there was a big problem with that. But then Germany started working on that problem, and now they're quite high in this position of empower all women and girls. Clean water and sanitation. So ensure the ability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Spain, for example, has implemented successfully water recycling program, especially in area which water scarcity issues. Also, Spain, quite hot country, and they have water sources, free water sources, the fountains, all over each cities. So all over the Spain, you can find a free water, which is great infrastructure. It's an infrastructural solution. All right, affordable and clean energy. Ensuring access to affordable, renewable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. So Denmark has been pioneer in wind energy, and with wind turbines supplying a significant portion of the country's electricity, which is a great example. Those countries who have a lot of sun, they also use the sun energy, but sun energy costs a bit much more. Decent work and economic growth. Promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Switzerland, for example, vocational education and training system prepares young people for employment in various sectors, leading to low youth unemployment rates. So they reduce this problem by educating everyone on a level of youth. I know in Ukraine, probably it will go to this goal. The system implemented to teach students how to create startups. As a result, in Ukraine right now, there's a lot of startups going on, and they all creating basically a medium wage level, or will create in the future to make a more stable economy. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Goal to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Sweden's strong emphasis on tech startups, also Ukraine also do, and innovation hubs that positioned it as a leading country in technology and innovations. Great solution. Reduced inequalities. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Norway, progressive tax system and comprehensive welfare services aim to reduce economic inequalities. Sustainable cities and communities. The goal is make cities and human supplemented inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. For example, Copenhagen aims to become carbon neutral by 2025 through the various sustainable urban planning initiatives. Also, Copenhagen did, I think, late 5 years, they did this. They have canals where everyone who come over, tourist or local people, they throw a bike or bicycle to that canal. And after a few years, they start facing a big problem that their water start very dirty. This is also allowed attached to this goal and the previous about the clean water. So they decided to clean all the canals. They spent a big amount of money to clean all the canals, but now they one of the country who are quite fastly following the development goals, and they have a clean canals. Nobody throws the bikes there, which is good. All right, responsible consumption and production. Goal is ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. In Italy, the slow food movement promotes local food and traditional cooking, emphasizing sustainability. I think this is also a great decision would be for Ukraine while and after the war conflict, because local businesses and provides basically local economy and provide economy for Ukraine in general. This is something what we should also do and follow. Climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. European practice, the UK's commitment to phase out coal and expand offshore wind farms in is a more towards sustainable energy sources. So they put more wind farms in their territories. Live below water. Conserve and sustainability use the oceans, seas, marine resources for sustainable development. Greece, for example, has implemented marine conservation project to protect its diverse marine ecosystem. Life on the land. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. Manage forest sustainability. Combat desertification. Halve and preserve land degradation, and halve biodiversity loss. So Romania, for example, Romania's reforestation initiatives aim to restore degraded forest landscape and maintain biodiversity. Also, probably something what Ukraine should do. Here, for example, in Spain, also the people have to ask the government to receive a paper that's allowed you to go and camp in a park, or you can camp only in a specific territories that to protect ecosystem and also avoid fires in the forests. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. The establishment, the establishment of the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg ensures that member states respect the civil and political rights of their citizens. And also the last goal for global goals of the global goals is a partnership for the goals. The strengthens the means of the implementation and revitalize ties the global partnership for sustainable development. So the goal is a partnership. And European Union, this is the best example of partnership between the countries for economical, social, and political growth. So basically, this lecture you will receive on your mail, so you can go over each one. And I also add a few links here. Please, they will provide you a bit of information for sustainable with Google, understanding dimension sustainable development, what is sustainable for tourism, which is we're going to talk later in next lectures, but this is for today's one. And what is the most sustainable city in the world, and sustainability ideas that will change the world. These two are quite extremely interesting, so I suggested you to take a look of them. And basically, this is that's it for today. I'm very glad. I hope that was interesting, and there was a little bit brief overview of all sustainability and sustainable development, so you know what is it now, and it will help us in next lectures to understand. Maybe does anyone have a question? If no, that's it for today. Any questions? Okay. Well, I'm very glad that all of you came today. You will receive all the lectures and information later on your email, and I'll see you on Friday at the same time. And we're gonna talk about industrial revolutions and how they impact our world. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for this useful information.
Thank you so much too.
So have a good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.